What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 118 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Thursday, February 13th, 2020, and I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Ken. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
What's going on?
How's everybody that's listening? Welcome. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
It's weird. This is Thursday. Why is it going to be a bumpy ride?
Because it's not hump day, and it's Thursday, and there was a snowstorm outside.
Yeah, you had some heavy snow, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't as bad as I guess we thought. I know up north got hit a lot harder. I got probably like 4 or 5 inches.
Is it like up north from you, like the North Pole?
I'm close. I'm close.
Canada?
Cantasia.
Above you.
Cantasia.
Oh man, yeah, it's been cold and rainy in Jersey for like a week. It's bad. It's really annoying, and my feet are wet right now because I was walking. I hate it. But life goes on. First world problems.
You got to do what you got to do to get those 15K.
Indeed, dude. I was behind, man. Like I have a brutal blister on my foot. So like last night I had to call it quits like a 1.5K early because I was dying, and it's like, I got to make it up today, and I got a busy schedule today, and we're recording, and it's rainy. It's like, man, if I end up today being like more than 5 or 6K behind schedule, it's going to be a very busy weekend of walking. I gotta get myself in the zone.
What'd you do this weekend? Oh, I walked.
Yeah, the whole time. On today's show, Niantic has announced the City Explorer Pass for Safari Zone Liverpool, and even though it's on the other side of the planet from us, it is worth talking about because this is one of the most cool initiatives I think that they have done yet in regards to how they're handling activities in and about cities that are hosting these major events. It's really cool. So we'll break that down. We're going to do a Go Battle League Ultra League guide. We talked about getting a little bit more into PvP on the show. With the Sylph metas and stuff like that, it was a very, very small amount of people that kind of were into that. Now with the Go Battle League, that reach is kind of expanding and growing. So we'll start covering it on the show to help get people into it now that they can do this from the privacy of their own bathroom. They can get their battles in. Valentine's Day weekend starting tomorrow, so we'll kind of preemptively discuss what's going to be happening, and we'll follow up next week with our results and hot takes and all that stuff. But we'll break all that down for you so you know what to expect this weekend. We got a couple emails and some miscellaneous news, and then we're going to poke the bear. Another great Poke the Bear segment. Account sharing is going to be the topic for today's Poke the Bear, and we'll get there after the break at the end of the show. All right, City Explorer Pass. This is really cool. So Safari Zone Liverpool is in April 17th through the 19th. And the Pokemon that are going to be spawning, Krabby, Dratini, Chinchou, Oshawott, not too exciting. But then you're going to have Unknown V and Relicanth, which will be breaking the region lock. So Unknown V and Relicanth are really the stars of that show as far as exclusivity is concerned.
Are you sure? I thought Chinchou was.
Yeah, Oshawott. It's all about Krabby.
It's going to be Giratina Community Day?
Yeah. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, February 14th, 2020. Tomorrow, as of the time of this recording. General admission, £12. Early access, £18. So I have no idea how conversion rates work, but same in the U.S. with the Safari Zone events, $12 and $18, £12 and £18 over there. The City Explorer Pass is going to be an additional £8. This requires a Safari Zone ticket. So the only way to get the City Explorer Pass is if you already have or will have a Safari Zone ticket, whether it's general admission or early access. And the Safari Zone itself takes place in Sefton Park. It's a 235-acre park, big-ass area. But the City Explorer Pass will encompass the entire city of Liverpool, and the gameplay for the pass will last all weekend long. So this is awesome for people that are visiting.
Yeah, any travelers, yeah.
And the coolest part is they've done this in conjunction with the city of Liverpool. So they've actually partnered with the local government to identify 10 key places in Liverpool that are worth visiting. And these 10 places are going to have raids that with a 72-hour timer. So there's going to be raids that are going to be live the entire weekend at these 10 destinations. And when you purchase this Explorer Pass, you're going to get invites, kind of like an EX Pass, to these 10 exclusive raids that are going to be lasting all weekend, all throughout the city.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool because, like even with Chicago, when we visited Chicago, we were very focused on Pokemon. And, I know Melissa was super upset the one day because we were supposed to explore the city and go look at art and museums. And then we ended up fucking raiding with Brandon Tan for 3 hours, and it ruined the day. And now I'm getting divorced. So don't do that. Explore the city instead.
But while getting, raids and stuff.
Yeah, no, this will be a great opportunity to allow you to explore the city, take in the sights, but still kind of pepper in your Pokemon experience, which is really cool. In addition to those 10 raids, you're going to get half hatch distance on eggs that are incubated within the city, exclusive field research, 4-hour regular lure modules within the city, and anyone that puts a lure module down in the last 4 hours, even people without the City Explorer Pass, will be able to benefit from those lures. And then you're going to have increased incense duration within the city. Now, they're not saying what that increase is, but maybe double time. Now, this whole within the city thing is exciting because, I don't know, months ago we were talking about stuff found in the code regarding geofencing and stuff like that, and we really didn't know what this was all about. And this could be that in action here, where they're saying, okay, they're going to draw a fence around the city limits of Liverpool, and as long as the trainer GPS is within those city limits, they're going to be able to take advantage of this stuff. So that's exciting, knowing that they're now able to, like when GoFest 2017, when the disaster struck at that event, and they kind of opened the raids up and everything outside of the city, or outside of Grant Park, people were out in downtown and all that stuff when we were able to do the raids. I don't necessarily think that it was geofenced in. It was kind of just spread out. But this is saying specifically within the city limits. So I like this, because if they do this for St. Louis Safari Zone or Philly Safari Zone, people are going to be able to come into town and visit all the cool places that the city has to offer, and they're not going to have to say oh man, I got to keep my phone in my pocket and not enjoy Pokemon even though I'm here on a Pokemon trip. It's a great way to combine both, and especially with Philly. I mean, there's so many historic sites, Liberty Bell, all that kind of stuff, great museums. It's going to be very exciting to see if they continue this trend, because I am so for that.
I really hope they do, because I absolutely love this.
Yeah, and I know that JC Pop Punk Pokemon, JC Pics, is going to Liverpool, so it's going to be very exciting to hear and see his coverage coming through on social. So JC, man, good luck on that trip. I'm psyched that you're able to get out there. And, we have a couple community members. Owen's the Prince from Liverpool, so really excited that, people are getting these events in all new locations around the globe. This is super exciting. I'm really pumped for this. But I dig this Explorer Pass. I hope this is something that they continue to do. And as Niantic continues to work with more and more local governments and things like that, it just increases the notoriety, increases the credibility, and breaks down those barriers of what video games can be when it comes to generating tourism dollars and that stuff. And I think it was a couple weeks ago we talked about how much money was generated from GoFest Chicago and the different Dortmund and all that stuff. So there's a lot of money here. So it's great to see that the cities are getting on board, because it's all about that cheddar.
It's all about the cheddar.
All right, Adam, how are you doing with Go Battle League? Are you still playing? How was the transition from Great to Ultra League?
So the transition was, I had just caught a Piplup at my house, and it was rank 3, I think. And I had just finished powering up a rank 127 or something random. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to dump all my dust into that. And so I dumped all my dust into it, and I was like 1 power up away, and I was like, oh, I'll still play with them. And I go into Ultra League, not knowing that it was Ultra League, and kind of just putting my hand on my head
oh you
man.
Powered it up to 1500?
Yes.
Well, look, the switch over actually did take a lot of people by surprise. Even though in the original night, the help shift or the blog post that detailed that there's going to be that changeover on the 10th, people were like, whoa, wait a second. What do you mean Ultra League is here? What do you mean that we're not starting back at 0? Like, it definitely took a lot of people by surprise once it went live. And I think it went live, 1 p.m. PST on the 10th or something like that. And it's a continuation of the season. This is how this is going to roll going forward. It's the combination of all the leagues all together within one single season. So a lot of people were not prepared for that. So we're going to try to make some sense of this and, talk about what you should expect for Ultra League going forward. And again, this is only lasting, to the 24th or something like that. So it'll all come back around again in the future, but you need to be prepared for this stuff and build your teams out. So when it does, it is time for Ultra League again in the future, once Season 1 starts in March, you'll be prepared. So for this one, we're going to be using 2 resources. PvPoke, which is phenomenal for looking at rankings and what moveset to use and, lets you know who it's strong against, who it's weak against. All that stuff is really good. And then we're going to look at Go Stadium's IV spec analysis database for the best IVs to use. Now, in regards to the best IVs, some of these are, getting the best perfect spec out on a Pokemon is sometimes unobtainable because you're getting it through a hatch or a raid or something like that. So we'll talk about the number 1 rank IV spec. You just want to get close to that, and there could be some variations of it, but I'll put a link in the description to both PvPoke and the Go Stadium page so you can kind of play with those tools, giggity, and figure out what you have that's the most viable for Ultra. So, Adam, why don't you run through the top 5? I picked out 10 Pokemon here from PvPoke's list. Why don't you run through the top 5, and we'll kind of bounce around of what to expect here. And just like with the Great League, you're going to see a lot of the same Pokemon starting to show their head. So you need to be prepared of how to not only use them, but how to deal with them. So what do we have here on the list?
Jump in and just say that I don't have anything that's good that's at the 25 marker.
Me neither.
And I honestly, I have just been sitting on my battles. I haven't really played because it's not fun seeing a 0 as my wins. So I'll go in, battle once, and then I'll be like, okay. Like right now I have 1 battle in and I haven't won. So that's just I keep getting trashed.
Yeah.
So let's start with number 1 because this guy gets me every time. Giratina altered form with Shadow Claw and Ancient Power.
Well, Shadow Claw the fast move, and then charge moves Dragon Claw and Ancient Power.
It's it basically wins against Charizard, Venusaur, Heracross, but it loses against Alolan Muck, Snorlax, and Registeel. Then there's Giratina Origin form in the number 2 spot. Again, Shadow Claw or Ominous Wind and Shadow Ball. So that one wins against Armor Mewtwo, Venusaur, Heracross, but again it loses to Alolan Muck, Snorlax, and Togekiss. And the number 3 spot is Registeel. Gosh, that stupid lock-on attack. So it's
distracting.
It's like, come on, can I get another move that I'm in the blocking screen and like the little swirls are just going around and around and around.
Yep.
Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, so fighting and steel moves like these hurt. So it's good against Togekiss, Giratina Altered, and Alolan Muck. Loses against Swampert, Charizard, and Heracross. Number 4 spot is Mew. You should have Mew. If not, what are you doing playing this game? Or you just can't find a Ditto. I get it. I understand. People are still on that quest. Mew is good with Shadow Claw and Overheat or Psyshock.
I hope you have a lot of TMs.
I literally, as we're standing here, I just wasted all 8 of my fast TMs trying to get a better fast move and none in the top 3. So
nice.
I now have Pound. Woohoo! Number 5 spot, which again has just destroyed me every single time, is Swampert with Mudshot, Hydro Cannon from Community Day or Earthquake. Man, that is just, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, they definitely have Swampert and they definitely have Giratina. I was like, let me just throw in 3 grass Pokemon and I'll take them down. Nope.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Giratina, a lot of Registeel, and a lot of Swampert. Now, when it comes to the Giratinas, the altered form perfect IV spec is 0, 14, 15. So it's just pretty much unobtainable because when you get them from raids that you're going to have, minimum of 10, you have to try to trade down. It's just not achievable. So you want to get that. We're going to talk and say 0, 14, 15 because that's what you're going to try to strive for when you trade down with these Pokemon, where you take a good IV Pokemon and trade it away in hope of getting a shittier version of that Pokemon. Origin form 0, 13, 14. Same thing. Fucking brutal to try to get that. You got to trade down. Registeel, this is an interesting one. You want a perfect spec out. You want 100% Registeel. So if you have a good one, maybe you have a 13, 13, 13, something like that, you're going to be in good shape. And the same thing with Mew, 0, 15, 10. You can't get it.
Can we put them back in the research breakthrough rewards?
Registeel?
Yeah.
Or Registeel. No. I'm done with the Reggies. And Swampert 0, 14, 13.
Sorry.
Look, now, before we get into like the rest of the list here, and we won't go into too much detail with them, I'm getting destroyed in Ultra League because what I did was I did fairly well with Great League. I had about a 60% win ratio. It was fun. And, I used some Dust. I used some TMs. For Ultra League, I have nothing close to any viable IV spec outs on any of these Pokemon. So I've just decided that I'm just going to pick Swampert, Giratina Origin. I'm using a frickin' Ampharos. And the kicker is, like, my Swampert doesn't even have... It has Surf. Like, I don't have extra moves. I'm getting wrecked. I'm literally, like 4 for 36 or something like that in Ultra League. I'm just getting stomped. But I don't care. I'm doing it for the Ks. I'm just trying to walk. Not worried about winning at this point. So it's preseason. But I've decided that I'm going to be really, really focused on learning what people are using, learning how and when to switch, and ultimately getting trades in over the next couple weeks in preparation for Season 1 Ultra League. I definitely need to acquire new Pokemon because none of the Pokemon that I have are viable with their IV specs. And, my Swamperts with Community Day moves are shit for PvP. So it's like I have to trade and try to get a good spec out.
I am in the same boat there.
Top 5 from PvPoke: Giratina Altered, Giratina Origin, Registeel, Mew, Swampert. You're going to see these a lot. I haven't really seen Mew. I see Mew like a couple times, but not much. But Swampert, Registeel, Giratina, I see them a ton. 6 through 10, Cresselia, Machamp, Regirock, Armored Mewtwo, and Regice. So again, a little bit more achievable Pokemon here as you work your way down. Armored Mewtwo on the 25th will be getting Psystrike as part of the Pokemon Day event. So the viability of Armored Mewtwo in PvP is going to actually increase after the 25th when you can get it with Psystrike. Now, another one that I note here is Alolan Muck, which is actually ranked 14. I'm seeing a lot of Alolan Muck because it's a very, very good counter against the Giratinas. So you're going to see people that are building teams with specific counters for specific Pokemon. So if you have an Alolan Muck and someone brings out a Giratina, you're in great shape. If they don't bring out a Giratina, it may not be that strong. So you have to make those decisions. But with Snarl and then Dark Pulse and Gunk Shot, very, very good against the Giratinas. Budget choices here, if you don't have the legendaries or you don't want to power up or second move or anything like that, Venusaur, Meganium, Togekiss, Gyarados, Heracross, Lapras is good for the dragons, Charizard. There is a lot of options. Use PvPoke's list and then use the IV calculator on Go Stadium so you can kind of see what the ideal spec out is and where your Pokemon sits on that list, based on its current stats. Some example teams here. Adam, are you seeing, these are the example teams that PvPoke kind of put together in an infographic. You want to run through these? Have you seen? Are these the Pokemon
I've seen
that you're
every
seeing?
single one of these,
right?
Multiple times, and I lose every time. Someone send Stardust, please.
So Swampert, Giratina Altered, and Registeel seems to be the go-to default team.
Or they lead with Togekiss, and then they're like, oh, here's Giratina Origin, and then Registeel, and I'm just like, okay, well, I got through one.
Yeah, you're like, okay, Giratina Origin, maybe that's the tank. No, Registeel's a tank. Like, it's annoying. And then there's the people that throw Alolan Muck in, and they'll typically have a Giratina along with the Alolan Muck. So they have Dragon-type moves that they can, kind of farm some energy and then throw in the Alolan Muck for the Dark Pulse finisher. You're going to see a lot of these teams, and this will develop over time, so it's important to just know what's out there and know how to be prepared for it. My key takeaways here is that things will develop over time, and creativity definitely has its benefits. And King, welcome back, King, making videos again on YouTube and back, active on social and everything. It's great to have him back. He put out a really cool video of like spicy pics of like off-meta Pokemon. And I've seen people have very good success against me bringing in these off-color picks because I just don't know what to do with them. And I don't forget what moves they have, and I end up getting wrecked because I'm so used to like dealing with Registeel or dealing with Giratina. And then all of a sudden they'll bring in like an Alolan Ninetales, and it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not prepared for it. You're going to see a ton of Giratina. Just be ready to counter it. Make sure you have something for Giratina because almost every team has it. And then, like I said earlier, Armored Mewtwo with Psystrike available after the 25th. So that'll be a good one to look out for. But yeah, I'm getting absolutely slayed, like just destroyed,
I think
demolished.
Slaughtered is like the better word.
And it sucks because I'm watching my win-loss ratio just go down. It's like I'm still ranked 9, but it's like nothing moves. I've gone down. Like at one point I was over 3,100 in my, matchmaking rating, and now I'm down like in the 2,900s because I don't care. I'm still enjoying it. I'm just learning mechanics. I'm worried about learning mechanics more than worrying about wins right now. So counting moves, learning how to switch, learning animation times, figuring out how I can be sneaky, that kind of stuff. But I really think that Go Battle League is doing a great job of getting people engaged with PvP, even though they're definitely struggling with some lag issues and things like that. You can't avoid it. Just make sure that in a respectful way, you're sharing your feedback on social, and let people know what's going on. It's important to share this stuff so they can see, hey, here's an example of something I dealt with today. I was seeing one, I forgot who posted it, but they put up a shield, and the shield goes up, and they still take, it kind of like hangs on the shield screen for a while and just sits there. And then once the shield finally goes away, they're knocked out. Obviously they got locked in that shield screen. The shield went down. They're still in the shield screen. They can't do anything. And meanwhile, their opponent is just blasting them with fast moves, just, knocking them down. And they couldn't do anything about it. And wow. I actually had a scenario today where for the first time I was on the winning end of lag, where my opponent is just sitting there doing nothing. And I'm just able to, like, with fast moves, just attack through them, and I'm like, oh man, I feel bad here, but it's like there's nothing I could do. That's the first time that I was actually
that I get.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I was actually on the winning end, or the positive end of a lag, some laggy shit that has never happened. I'm typically the one that gets screwed on the lag. They're gonna work through all this. They went down for maintenance yesterday for a couple hours. Like, gotta remember, still in the preseason, stakes are low. We'll see what happens as we get to season 1. March 9th is the release of season 1. So we still have a little bit of time.
I won't be able to handle it.
I'm ready, man. I've got a couple PvP events that I'm going to this weekend, next weekend as well. So I'm going to be doing a lot of trading. I'm going to be bringing a list of Pokemon that I have, and a lot of that I want to trade for, because when I played through Great League, I pretty much stuck with the same team the entire time. I kind of had one Pokemon that I would rotate in and out. So I don't mind doing that. That way, it's like I'm not spending so much Stardust. I'm not spending, candies or anything like that for extra moves. I could just pick my team and get good with it and run with it. And that's what I did with Great, and that was enjoyable. So as long as I can get 3 good Pokemon that can, build a cohesive team, I'll be good for the entire stretch of Ultra League when it hits season 1.
I like it.
All right, Adam, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, trainers.
Yay. Tomorrow, again, from the day we're recording this, I'm going to try to get this podcast out tomorrow. So this should be releasing on Valentine's Day. So yes, happy Valentine's Day. Call your mom if she's around. Let her know you love her. Hug your plushies.
All the Pokemon plushies.
We've got a lot of stuff going on here. We talked about all the crazy madness with this calendar for February, but Adam, you want to run through some of this stuff that we're going to expect this weekend?
So Friday from 8 a.m. to Monday, the 17th at 10 p.m., your local time, pink Pokemon will be appearing more often in the wild, raids, eggs, and research. Right? Hatching from 7K eggs, we've got Lickitung, Porygon, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Tyrogue, Smoochum, Love Disc, Happiny, Shiny Happiny available in eggs.
Yes.
That's a big
and
one.
Shiny Chansey available in the wild. So Shiny Chansey will be the big ones. But Chansey in the wild, Shiny Chansey in the wild would be awesome. That'd be an exciting catch.
It's like green and like gross looking.
It's like a weird sickly flesh color.
It's like if they ate too much and they got food poisoning. That's what it reminds me of. But anyways, Valentine's Day themed avatar items will be coming to the shop. Love Disc top, ripped Love Disc jeans, and Love Disc shoes.
Yeah, this is for male and female avatars. I did see some pictures of what this looks like, data mined by Kelvin, and it looks really cool. When the Pikachu Libre stuff came out, that was the first time I really visited the style shop in a while, and they've really compounded a bunch of different styles. Like, there's so much stuff going on there. I forgot how many things have come out over time. So if you haven't been to the style shop lately, go back in.
Get your style on.
Well, especially now with PvP and Go Battle League, it's like you gotta flex a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit. I mean, I'm always wearing my Delibird stuff, so
I know.
That's not
I'm back
change.
to I was Pikachu Libre for like a day. Now I'm back to my Team Rocket getup.
Everybody at Battle has the Pikachu Libre.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. Get some fashion sense, people. But in addition, new Pokemon are coming to the game. We've got Adino, the hearing Pokemon. Although, I'm going to butcher the name. Alomomola.
Got it.
But the carrying Pokemon. And in the wild and in 7-kilometer eggs, those will be in. They're going to be super rare. Kind of like Cryogonal. But yet, at my house, I just anytime that it's snowing, I get a Cryogonal. So,
well, it's interesting that in the actual release on PokemonGoLive.com, they said hey, just so you know, these will be super rare. So, hopefully they won't be unknown rare, but they're still
they'll probably be Bagon. You know what I mean? They're not around.
Yeah,
Avatar rare.
I still haven't hatched a Axew. I still haven't hatched the Archon. There's still Pokemon I need,
Yep.
So there's definitely rarity in eggs, but with these being in the wild, it'll be interesting to see how that actually rolls out.
So they're gonna have 6-hour lure modules,
regular lures,
regular lures, times 2 catch candy, and then we're gonna have on Saturday. So hopefully tomorrow, when you're listening to this, the 15th. There's going to be Lickitung Raid Day from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. My goal is to get out and do a full hour of this and use up all my passes and then go do what I want to do for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 4-star raids. It can be duoed easily, but it cannot be soloed. You're going to get up to 5 free raid passes. So it's free. Why not do it? Right?
Yep, for real.
Lickitung from the raids will know Body Slam, which is a huge move for PvP. You can also evolve up to Lick-a-Lick. Oh my god. Lick-a-Lily. Lick-Lily. Whatever its name is.
Lick-a-Lily.
It's bigger
Licky.
and it's got a bigger tongue. During the event hours for Body Slam as well. And of course, they release Shiny Lickitung.
What I like here, and again, hopefully I'll get this podcast out before Saturday, but Lucario and fighting types are really the best counter for Lickitung during these raids, but it's not your usual spec out for Lucario. Normally you would use, your Lucarios would have power up punch. You gotta remember, when you're doing raids, the benefits, like the extra effects of these moves, don't count when you're doing it in raids. So there's really no benefit to doing Power Up Punch in a raid because it does such low output. So you're actually going to use Lucario's signature move, Aura Sphere. So if you have a Lucario with Counter and Aura Sphere, that's what you're going to want to use against Lickitung. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Today's Thursday, the 13th. There's going to be another Spotlight Hour tonight. It's double raid XP, so hopefully by the time you hear this, you were able to take advantage of that today. But there's literally something going on every single day this month. It's pretty crazy. And I had a conversation with someone on Tuesday, which was Spoink Spotlight Hour, and we'll talk about that a little later. But we were talking about how much is going on and the fear of missing out. And I kind of got to this realization, like maybe with all these events, it's just a little crazy now because we're not used to all this stuff going on all the time. But if they do this for a month or two, it might get to the point where this is the norm and the fear of missing out will actually go away because you could say, oh, yeah, I can't do Spotlight Hour this week. Don't worry, there's going to be one next week. And then it kind of washes that away. But we just have to get acclimated to the fact that this game is just moving at a crazy pace. I don't know. It's something to think about because there's just so much going on. I mean, people were sharing pictures with us of their planners and their calendars and everything that they had to create because there's just so much to keep track of. And it's like, I get it. It is absolute madness, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
I want some more of it.
Adam, I think we're ready to take a little breaky break. When we come back, we'll talk about our some miscellaneous news, a couple emails, and then we'll get into our Poke the Bear segment. You ready to take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
All right, we'll be back right after this. We're back from our break. Thank you so much for that. A little housekeeping to run through before we get to the back half of the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It most surely is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons: Brittany J, James, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, The Noise, Harry, Pokenabbot, Purple Pancakes, Dim Gears Be Bangin', Lady Goobly Meat, Go Ranger Matt, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Jolt Switch, Alex, The Illustrious Overseer, Jason, Matt from Kentucky, Paul, Justin, Val, Monica, PJ, Trainer Dex J, Augmented Naturally, and new for this week, Mackle and Brian. Thank you guys so much for joining at the show supporter tier. We definitely appreciate that.
You guys rock and roll.
Also, a special thanks to DeFi250 for joining at the Discord tier. DeFi has a awesome YouTube channel she started up doing some PvP coverage and put a fantastic Rose Cup video together. And I'll link to her channel in the description. Make sure you guys check it out. I love when our community members get creative and put content out. I think everyone should do it, especially with PvP, since it's not a blog, it's not a vlog. You don't need a crazy camera. You don't need lighting. You could just, do some commentary on your PvP battles and you can rock and roll. And she did a fantastic job putting together some Rose Cup coverage, which is really, really cool. As usual, thank you to our executive producer, Paul Bott, for his continued support. And if Patreon isn't your thing, there's still a few other ways you can help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. All right, couple bits of miscellaneous news here, Adam. Like I was saying, Spoink Spotlight Hour, what a difference a week makes. So last week we had Onyx Spotlight Hour. I had caught 24 total for the entire event. No shinies. It was really slow going in the beginning. And they definitely listened to everyone's feedback. And the Spoink spawns were lit. It was insane.
They were outrageous. They were outrageous. I opened my game. Again, I had one Onyx the entire hour.
You were working again for Spoink?
I was working again, but I took my break at 6:30. But I opened up the game at 6, and then the Spoink spawns were everywhere. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
I had, I think, 6 or 7 just in like the immediate like area.
Nice. Yeah, I was on foot in Red Bank getting my Ks in, and ended up catching about 150. I think it was like 148 or 149 Spoink. Also got one shiny, which was very exciting. And I remember the shiny rate was not increased. It's just the spawn rate. And again, we always say spawn. Niantic has never used the language spawn. Did you know that? Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
They always just say this Pokemon will be appearing more frequently in the wild. Like, they never use the word spawn. We just, we just have made that our nomenclature for it. But yeah, they were everywhere. It was awesome. And then we have Mystery Bonus Hour tonight. The mystery bonus is 2 times raid XP. So if you want to get some raids in tonight, throw on a lucky egg and you can, bring home some good cheddar. All right, we haven't done a Go Ranger check-in for a bit. Let's check in.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger check-in.
All right, a lot of important dates here, and we're not even going to go through the whole month because we still have time. But these are the ones that are you should worry about now. Tornadus is here through the 25th. Woobat, obviously, we have all month through March 1st. We have our Valentine's Day event this weekend, the 14th through 17th. Lickitung Raid Day, Saturday, the 15th. The following weekend, Friendship Weekend, the 21st through the 24th. And we also have Rhyhorn Community Day, Saturday, the 22nd. And then also don't forget, Legendary Raid Hours are still happening Wednesdays from 6 to 7. So it seems like you have events that are running. Let's start with Tuesdays. So you have Tuesday Spotlight Hour, Wednesday Legendary Raid Hour, Thursday, Mystery Bonus Hour, and then Friday to carry you into Monday is you have some kind of event. So now you literally have a blanket over the entire week. Every single day there's something going on.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And it's not even like on Monday the event ends at, 1 p.m. PST. Now they're stretching it to 10 p.m. local time. So it's like all day Monday, you're good. You've got that event Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. And then Thursday again, Friday starting at 8 a.m., carry you through the whole weekend. It's crazy, awesome. I mean, I love it. I think it's fantastic and gives people a great opportunity to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's something for everyone.
Yep. A couple listener emails I want to run through really quick. Pidgey Grabba wrote in, says, "Hey, Ken and Adam, I wanted to write in an unpopular opinion. I'm taking a break from Go Battle League during the Ultra preseason. I was expecting to drop back down to rank 1. From there, I would have strong enough Pokemon to rise to rank 5 or 6 without investing Stardust. I made it to rank 9 in Great League without using any Stardust or TMs, and without using any Regis or Deoxys or Legendaries. Most of my team were 10k to unlock their second move and had already been powered up for the Sylph Cups. I earned probably 25 to 30 charge TMs, lots of rare candy, but earned less than 175,000 Stardust. That's a second move on a Giratina and a Snorlax. It's just simply too costly to compete, and I would rather invest to play in the lower tiers and collect more rewards than get my clock cleaned 4 out of 5 times with a properly powered up team to rank 9.
Preach.
So,
Preach,
right? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Seriously, that's exactly how I feel, because I'm like, I don't want to invest any Stardust, and it's like the 2 or 3 power ups that I did don't do anything. Like I had 1 power up left on my Amistar that has Mud Shot, Rock Blast. It's like I don't I understand that might not be the best moveset, but come on, it should withstand something. And then I have 100% fully powered up Shiftry, and it doesn't hold up.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when we move over to Master, because with Great League, we were talking about it last week. People were complaining Great League was expensive and you only had to power up Pokemon to 1,500. Now with Ultra up to 2,500. Master League, the sky's the limit. And, I think it was I Am Risen on Twitter said, I'm going to say it because no one else is. Ultra League is just too damn expensive. And, when I'm looking at my rewards so far with Stardust, I've got over 200,000 in Stardust from playing Go Battle League. But when you put it in perspective, yeah, that's still only 1 or 2 Pokemon you're powering up with that. So
Exactly.
it's a big investment. It's a big investment. And, pro tips here, just if you're trading for Pokemon or you get a good Pokemon with a good IV spec, make sure you're adding that second move when it's still lower in its evolution chain, because that way you're not paying, extra when it hits its final evolution. But Pidgegrabber, thanks for writing in. I don't blame you, man. It is expensive, and I definitely feel you on getting your ass kicked, because I'm getting just the floor mopped with myself right now. I'm just getting wrecked, but it is what it is.
I honestly feel like, I don't know. I feel like you should be given like 100 Stardust just for attempting to battle, because you're putting in the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I understand there's like better rewards for winning, but at least like a reward for battling. Because like right now, I don't feel like I want to play. Get my butt handed to me. My rank goes lower.
Well, your rank will never drop down. Just your matchmaking rating will. So.
Exactly. I don't want to have that under my belt.
See, I don't care. It's like I'm not an elite PvP player by any means, so I'll definitely take it a little bit more seriously when Season 1 comes out, but I'm never going to be upset about not doing well, because there's never going to be a scenario where I'm going to be able to compete with, the Poke AKs or the Valor Ash or the House Starks. They're just... And what's cool is seeing those guys communicate online. They're all getting matched with each other in rank 10 because their matchmaking rating is like up over 3,600. So you're seeing them battle each other. It's so cool. So cool to see that all kind of rolling out. Adam, you want to read this next email that we got from Sir Amanda?
Definitely. It says, "Hi, Lured Up. So those spoofbot map sites, there's one that covers a lot of Atlanta that I would occasionally check, but the site had always given me super weird vibes, so I did not actually pass on knowledge of the site to other people, which is a bit weird because normally I would be all about telling people about useful looking stuff / resources. I hadn't connected the dots until a few shows ago when y'all talked about how those sites get their info from hundreds of spoof bots. That realization was a wake-up slap. I mean, I would never spoof myself. I wouldn't trade for a Pokemon obtained by a spoofer. Why would I want to play looking over the shoulder of 100+ spoofer bots?"
Wow. Amanda, thank you. I really appreciate your writing in with this, because that was kind of the main reason I wanted to talk about it, because there was a lot of people that just never put that connection together of how that data was obtained. And when I share that information with people, they go, "Really? That's how these maps work?" It's like, fuck, it's not good. So I appreciate your writing in and making that connection now, because it's it's like when a vegan explains to someone about how the cream in their coffee is made. It's like, ooh, maybe I'll drink it black.
Right?
It's like, now that I know that, the data that I just pulled off this Discord bot was brought to me courtesy of a bunch of spoofing bots. It's like, may not want to take that information anymore. So I feel you, but thank you guys for writing in. That's that I feel a little bit better that we made an impact, at least with one person, in regards to that conversation with the spoofing stuff. So definitely good to hear. Final segment of the show. Poke the Bear. This is another good one. And when I put these show notes together, it was probably only an hour or two after I put this tweet up, and it was very active then. And I woke up to like a shit ton of notifications this morning. So the conversation is definitely still going on Twitter, and I'll put a link to the actual tweet. But this is what I said. Where do you stand on logging in to another trainer's Pokemon Go account for an event, raid, or spawn? Have you ever logged in for someone or had someone log in for you? What about using their own phone? Like if someone were to give you their phone and you take their phone with them to a raid. So this is a big one here, because this is super common. It's super, super common, and kind of one of those things that has just gone along with the culture of what this game is, because people help their friends. And I remember, years ago having the conversation, well, what's the difference if, my son is playing Super Mario Brothers at home and can't beat a level, and I take the controller for him and beat it for him and then give him the controller back, versus me taking someone's phone down to the corner to catch the rare Pokemon that spawned and then giving them their phone back. So it's definitely weird. It's definitely gray, but I wanted to test the waters here of see what people were thinking and where people's heads were at with it. So here's some responses that I pulled. Joltswitz says, I'm happy to do it, tags his wife, for my wife. I'm more than happy to raid for her when she can't make it out. Okay, so people are saying, all right, I'll do it for, a member of my family, someone in my household. Pokemon trainer Ursus says, I have never and will never do this. What's the point? This seems like the dumbest way to play the game. You're not even playing. You're having someone else play for you. Why bother? Great point.
Fear of missing out.
Exactly. PK Ben says, for events like raid days or community days where you may have to work. So again, it's that fear of missing out. I don't want to miss. I'm at work. I can't do the raid day, but I want that exclusive Pokemon. Here, take my phone and do it for me. Stealth 991. If you don't do the work yourself and constantly have people play for you, your stats may go up. But when you brag or go post on a leaderboard, you yourself didn't earn it. Is that really fair to those that spent their own time and resources? Great point. Dr. Pogo says, I don't share my account or have anyone raid or catch for me, just how I like to play the game. I have raided or caught for someone on their phone, but I've not logged in for someone else on my phone. So that seems to be a big separation of, where people stand with this too. Yeah, sure, I'll take your phone down the street, but I'm not going to log in to your account on my phone just to do this for you. It seems like that's a little bit of a split. And then let me get one more tweet here. This one from Woodwo's Wolf says, I've never shared accounts with anyone. I don't know how I'd feel about Pokemon just showing up in my storage. I guess I'll still hold on to the old idea of a Pokemon journey, where the Pokemon I have and use is part of my own story. Too many years of watching the anime as a kid. That was like my feel-good one. I wanted to make sure that one got in there because I was like, I kind of feel the same way. And it's not necessarily, it's weird, man, because it's like account sharing is considered cheating per the terms of service. And dude, I caught so much shit over the past week about, defending the terms of service again. People are like, you fucking play when you drive. That's against terms of service. Like, look, yeah, all right, you got me, okay? I'm not fucking, Captain America here. But it does make sense that people aren't going to connect the dots and think that this is cheating because they think of it more as helping or just assisting someone. It's not spoofing, but in a sense, it's sort of like that because the trainer is sitting on their couch at home, but their phone is somewhere else. It's very, very weird, and that's why I like it, because it's a spicy topic. All right, and then we got one more response here. This was actually an email from Rusty. He says, it's pretty common here. It's usually situational. You might not be able to play on a raid day or a community day when all you want is that exclusive shiny. Also, if you've already done a raid and a couple people come in late to the raid, you can log into a friend's account to help them beat the raid boss. I've seen this happen. Not too different than an alt account. Just make sure your friend is okay with it when they're not playing. And then he goes on a little mini rant about account sharing. He says, the biggest problem is the EX raid schedule. No matter how much we raid here between 6 and 9:30 p.m., we can't catch a fucking break and get an EX raid that's not scheduled between 11 and 4. Most of us are at work, so this leads to people messaging other people trying to get them to cover their EX raids. In conclusion, there's a serious fear of FOMO with all these events stacking up, and it sucks when you're stuck somewhere and can't play. I can't blame someone for trying to look for help. So I think that's what it comes down to, is the fear of missing out, right? Like, it's got to be they just don't want to miss out. Like, I've had to sit out so many community days, and it sucked. It totally sucked. But I've seen people come to a raid, or especially an EX raid with, 2-3 phones, or like I'm in a lobby and I'm like, oh shit, this person's here. And they're like, well, I have their phone. You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's weird. So I want to know, where do you guys stand on this? Have you ever logged in for someone? Have you had someone log in for you, or given your phone to someone, or taken a phone from someone? There's a lot to talk about here and a lot to unpack, and I'm definitely interested on hearing where everyone stands with this, because how is it in your community, Adam? You seeing people do this for each other, or especially with EX raids?
Yep.
It's common, right?
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
It's like people will have, 2 accounts, or somebody's at work and they put in the chat, hey, can somebody take my phone and go do their EX raid? And it's like, sometimes like you need that extra device. You need that extra person in order to take it down, because people are there and jump in the lobby the second the egg pops without any communication. There's no in-game communication for anybody to say, hey, I'm going. I sat at my last Regigigas EX raid, I want to say for at least 40 minutes, and somebody just pulls up right at the end, and they had like one account, and then like all of a sudden like 4 people show up out of their car, and they're like, oh yeah, we're all here for this. And I was like, okay. But it was like, I would have been stuck, like, you know. And then the counter story, okay, to all of this is, I'm on my phone, you're on your phone. We're battling together. We knock out this Lickitung. I check mine, it's shiny. You check yours, it's not shiny. My phone dies. Hey, Ken, can you log me in? Can you log me in so I can get that Pokemon? Because I just did the raid with you. How do you feel about that, Ken?
Okay. Well, someone actually mentioned that on Twitter also, like, hey, if someone's phone battery dies or something like that. I'm going to say right out of the gate, I'm okay with that, because you're there. I'm giving my phone to you and you're logging into your own account. So I'm not doing anything shady for you. I'm just letting you borrow my phone. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would be okay with that because you're there. But, you know, this opens the doorway also to like the alt account conversation where...
Right. Well, that was where I was going. So, you know, my son's with me. He's like, I want to do the raid too. And I said, okay. So I log out of my account to go into his account, and I let him battle the Clink. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do if I don't have 2 internet-capable devices?
Again, that's different because he's with you. He's there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not like your son's at home and he just happens to have an account and you're like, all right, I did this Clink, I'm going to do it on my son's. You know what I mean? Like, he's there.
Okay.
So
okay.
They're definitely,
that makes sense.
Gray areas. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I also want to say this because, again, people were giving me so much shit, you know, for being, you know, Johnny Be Good fucking last week with the terms of service stuff. Or like, why do you even care about the gacha? What does this bother you? It does fucking bother me. I don't know why. I mean, but it does. But look, it is a game. We can play it how you want to play it. It's gonna, you know, people say, don't judge me for playing. Fuck that. I'm gonna judge you. I'm Judge Judy right now. No, it's like, of course I'm gonna have feelings about, you know, how it goes down or what you got, you know, how you play the game, you know, but you got to be prepared for that fallout of saying like, you know, all right, I'm going to log in for my friend who's, you know, at home, or like, and then the conversation comes up a lot. Oh, what about the person who's got a broken foot, or the person who's, you know, not, you know, isn't mobile and can't get out to play. And it's like, man, it's like you're going to those those angles based on these crazy hypotheticals that have probably never existed for you, but you're just trying to shoot down a point. And it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
And I'm not going to lie. I was at work and I had somebody take my phone so they could
shit.
It was the Lapras raid day. Similar to this, to the Lickitung. What if I had to work? I literally, I'm stuck at work. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying, especially when Niantic's giving us 5 free raid passes. It's almost like, I don't know, it's a slap in the face to somebody that has to work all day.
See,
so if I have
that's
my
what a lot of people
that
say,
can,
but you can't.
And my friend can't do it alone.
I disagree.
My friend can't do it alone. I'm in a rural area, so here's my phone. Go do it. And because you're by yourself, you don't have to communicate with anybody, and you can get it done. Boom.
I harshly disagree here, and because I've heard that conversation a lot too. Of it's a slap in the face to busy people, and it's like, really, that's your perspective? Because just because you think that they're specifically attacking you because you're busy, like.
No, I didn't say they're attacking me, but it's just I can't.
But you're saying it's a slap. Well, you said that it was a slap in the face. That's an attack. Like,
well, because they're giving us five free raid passes, and it's like with my half-hour lunch, there's no way for me to. Like the area that I work in, there's 0 raids. There's 0 gyms.
So if you work on Super Bowl Sunday in retail, is the NFL slapping you in the face because they're having their game when you work?
No, you can keep updates with your watch.
See, I love how crafty everyone is on that side of the fence.
That's information. That's information. You can get the information about the game. Like,
so you could still get your information on everyone else's shiny Lickitungs.
Yeah, I just have to be like, well, you guys are all losers because you actually went out and got them.
No, it's a great conversation. I want everyone to get involved. Link in the description to our Twitter. Connect with us on social, however you want.
Yeah, we're gonna have this like this Poke the Bear section. It's just gonna be Team Adam or Team Ken.
Well, that's why. Look, I know that I'm probably the only asshole on the top of the hill waving the flag the way I do. But I'm also the asshole who's fast catching at 110 miles an hour down the highway. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gray. There's a lot of gray area here, and it's, I've heard so much, with the gotcha. It's like, oh, well, it's so much safer to do than catching while you're driving. It's like there's conversations everywhere, and that's why I love it, and that's why I think it's important to talk about, because it's great to hear all these different perspectives and figure out where people stand on this stuff, because
I'm just going to say, if you're in a shady area and the Pokemon Go Plus is going and like causing attention to you, whereas the gotcha would just be silent and nobody notices.
How isolated is that? Come on. The shady area, the fucking mugger down the street is going to be like, yo, I hear someone coming. He's catching Pokemon with a Go Plus.
Oh no, the bullies are coming.
Yeah, meanwhile, the guy with the gotcha gets through, with his drops his wallet, and the guy picks it up and gives it back to him.
Well, he's looking forward. He's looking up.
Jeez Louise. Good stuff here, guys, though. But I think that's a show, Adam. I think we did
That
it.
is a show. We both have dentist appointments to go to, so...
Yeah, we're both going to the dentist right now. Not the same dentist. Yours is in New Hampshire. Mine's in New Jersey. But, yeah, that's one reason we're recording early, because I wanted to make sure that our speech isn't fucked up after leaving the dentist. Exactly. But thank you guys so much for checking out the show. We really do appreciate your support. It's been fantastic, and the interaction online has been super, super awesome. Links to everything that we talked about today will be in the podcast description, as well as links to all of our social media destinations and our Secret League pin that's available from the Secret League store.
Get them while they're hot.
Yes, you can email us, info@luredup.com. You can leave us a inappropriate voicemail, text, and picture, 732-835-8639. It totally doesn't have to be inappropriate. But I think that down the road, I'm hoping that I can be purchasing a new mixing board, podcast board, that will allow us to take live calls on the air. So get your practice in now with giving us a call and leaving us a voicemail, because hopefully sooner than later we'll be able to take live calls on the air, and that'll be really exciting. PokemonProfessor.com for everything that's going on in the network. Check out our Patreon. Leave us a review. Thank you guys so very much for your support. We really appreciate it. Adam, if you don't have anything else, I think we did it. Awesome. Keep training, trainers. We'll see you guys next week.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Licky, licky, la, la, la.